We are live. Hello, hello, Farrell's Ankeny family. How are you guys doing out there? We're going to hang on here just a second and let everybody who's logged in get up on the screen and see how many eyeballs we can get. So hopefully we got some viewers today.
We will.
I know it. It's a Thursday. It's the day before Friday. It's like the Friday Eve.
You know, there's only 3 days of the week now.
I know, yeah. And it's already too long.
Yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. That's it. That's all it is.
That's all you have to worry about.
That's it. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. That simplifies things.
Adjust this camera.
Simplifies things. So we've just gone live. So anyone who has jumped in and joined us for today's chat, would you please leave us a comment and let us know you're there? And of course, if you have any questions or have any other comments you want to add them in. We'll try to address everything today when we're here. We're going to wait just about 15-20 seconds and then we'll get started. That's of course not going to be a very formal presentation today. It's a conversation. So getting started, right, is really just us getting to start talking. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I am going to put that in my mind now, because it doesn't matter really whether it's a Saturday or a Tuesday.
Who knows if it's a Saturday or a Tuesday or a Monday? Right. You know, it's like you wake up Monday morning, oh God, it's Monday. Or you go to bed Sunday night, you go, oh, it's Sunday night. I gotta wake up early on Monday.
But you don't.
No,
you don't.
It's like all different.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. I want to say hello to everybody and introduce myself. I'm Stephanie, and I own the two Farrell's locations in Ankeny. And we have a very special guest today. Richie Chives is joining us. He's been a member for a little over a year, and he and his wife both, and has been an instructor now for 6 months. Has it been that? Has it been?
Gosh, it might be going on a year in May.
Oh goodness. Okay, so see how quickly time flies.
It does. And I was part of the 2018 January class. Can you?
Oh my gosh, it's been.
I know.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, we've been finishing like 2 years ago. You know.
You need to do my research better.
Well,
I thought I just knew that off the top of my head.
This is the Shelley Anderson class. Come on.
Yeah. The class, the stellar class. I hope Shelley's out there. She'll be like, yes.
That's doggone right. The class of 2018, January.
Living strong, staying strong.
That's us.
Yeah. So of course we're in this strange situation. We're at home. Our routine has been thrown out the window. We aren't really sure what's up and down. We were just talking about what day of the week it is. Doesn't matter. And of course it does. A lot of us like routine, like structure, at least some form of it. And I know that I went into a tailspin and kind of into a tailspin of survival and just, did I have enough groceries and where is my family at? And is my gas tank full? And then how do I get, with running a business and kids at college and et cetera, like it was just really survival mode. And I was in that for entirely too long, where you start feeling very high anxiety and very run down and very helpless and maybe even hopeless. And you think, oh my gosh, now we're at 2 weeks out of the gym and 2 weeks out of routine, and any progress that I had made up until that point, I'm just sliding out, and the bad habits are sneaking in, and then I call up my buddy Richie, and I know you're always the first one to say, how are you doing? And I say, I'm good, I'm okay. And you say, no, how are you doing? And at that point I have to kind of admit to myself, I'm not doing okay, and I need to do something to make me feel better. I need to take control of this back. So I've invited you to come and talk and share with us, share with a bigger group how you sort of walk people through, and how we can walk through taking this feeling of crazy, spiraling out of control, crazy, to something that I feel good about and something I can feel productive about and positive about, and feel like I'm making progress, which I think a lot of us are striving for and lacking.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, the progress. You're absolutely right. First of all, thanks. This is going to be fun. I am enjoying the contact that we have, because you're right. When we're talking about a routine, we had a routine. Let's be honest with you. I mean, like, my routine, like, for the last 2 years was 4:30 in the morning, have a 5:15 Farrell's class, and it's got to the point where I knew what time to leave the house at 4:51 in order to get to Farrell's on time. It was probably the only time I was actually on time for something, because it's kind of hard to start class or get into class when it's already going. Right. So you have those routines, and so part of it is that we've got goals, and we've got things that we have started already, but now this whole thing put us into a tailspin. How to get back into that routine, or how to create a routine when we're not sure of what's going on ourselves. So, but the first thing we got to do is say, okay, we got to allow ourselves to, okay, we know the world is, happening, but what can we control? That's where we got to start out with. So, with our friends or family, those are the things that we can really, really have more control over than what we think. And then it's this part of reassessing. Be thankful for what you have. So one of the things that I really try to do is try to win the day. And that's really what this is all about, is try to win the day. Even if it's something little. You talked about just, your technological win the day there. Those things are that we have to allow ourselves to get to have little victories all over again, because that's what Farrell's is really all about. You're going through that 10-week, we talk about that first 3 weeks. We're wondering, what the heck did I get myself into? And you're going, I can't do this. I don't believe I'm doing this. I'm not seeing any results. And you kind of go down that little slide of wondering if you're able to do it. It's no different than we're going through right now. And we get to that 5 weeks, we meet with our coach and our head instructor and lead instructors and go, hey, this is what the progress you're seeing, and you don't even realize it. And the next thing you know, you get them in the last 5 weeks, and you go, my God, look at the progress I've made. It's no different here, folks. So a couple of things that we talk about from winning the day, and I'm going to share my screen here with you if I can, hopefully we'll do, about the 5 rules to win the day physically. Can you see that yet? Hopefully you can.
Not yet. There we go.
All right. So 5 rules to win the day physically. One is high protein, moderate fat breakfast. It's all about diet. We always talk about that. 80% of what we do at Farrell's is nutrition. Oh my God. No different here now. So we go back to the basics.
It's a bigger 80% chunk.
It's a bigger, like when you go, oh my God, now I can eat that muffin and not worry about it. No, we want to create our new habits all over again. Write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Oh my goodness. We're spending so much time now with our families that it's different than when we're spending time on a vacation in a room. It's like we are together a lot. So 3 things that you're grateful for, and then write them down, and then look at them every day. Go on that 30-minute walk. I know my wife and Hannah are constantly walking. They do really, really good at that. And then drink 80 to 100 ounces of water. Guess what? That's all we were talking about. These things are no different than what we do when we're at a normal routine. So what we're really doing is just creating that all over again, and end the day with 3 victories from the day. I mean, those are the things that you really want to talk about and be with other people about in winning your day physically. So I hope we get some questions on that particular part, because I'd love to share what some of the things I've been doing there with that too. So anything you've been doing, Stephanie, that you talk about winning the day?
Yeah. So I do think that the more I can do that reminds me of what normal is. So the drinking of the water and then walking in the morning. So that is, I have to leave the house. Otherwise, I think the number of hours where I am inside a building without ever going out. So that feels like a win. And I think when I know that I want to keep track of what my wins are in a day, I look for them all day. And so by the end of the day, I have way more than 3 because like just getting onto this call, we had to do a little bit of technology, IT work, and we figured it out. Like there's a win. And I think it's my 4th or 5th one today, and cleaning the kitchen, and I managed to clean the oven. You know what I mean? Like,
oh God,
I know, right?
It is.
It's a win.
It is.
And it's a win I probably wouldn't have had 2 months ago. So in a day for sure. So it makes me look for the positive all day long because I know that I'm going to want to remember them at night. And so it changes my perspective as opposed to all the things I didn't get done. Or for me, the worst part when I wake up and I think all the things I need to do and I already know I won't get them all done. So why bother? Or where do I begin? So I don't ever begin. I take a deep breath and I think all I have to do is eat breakfast. All I have to do is go for a walk. I drink a cup of coffee before I drink my water, but and that just like one step at a time. And before I know it, I'm crossing things off a list and adding things to a list, which I know do in any day, right? So it is having these 5 things or a list of 5 things just to sort of calm and keep you from losing the day.
Yeah.
So
we tend to lose the day when we get out of our routine. That's when we figure out, it's like, okay, how do I do it? And we've had such a long routine, we've got obviously Farrell's members and that have been around for decades, but yet we got to understand that right now there is a change. That whatever you were doing May 4th or whatever, beginning of March is really thrown out. It's thrown out the window. Now you have to have a new set of plans, and so that new set of plans may be, when we talked about from a working out, setting a time and being deliberate. One of the things that you got to practice being disciplined. That's the tough thing. And now we kind of rely on our own selves right now to be that disciplined, but make that practice every day of just something. I don't care if it's, we're talking about the physical, obviously we want to work out, whether it's, maybe read a book or something, whatever it is, to bring that in to your positive part of that. And that kind of leads to my next slide there. If I get to my next slide. Here, there we go. I'm going to share that screen again with you.
I'm just really impressed. Okay.
There you go.
Here we go.
And then 5 rules to win the day mentally. Be confident. There's so many stories that we could talk about from a Farrell's part when you come in there with your first 10 weeks and your confidence is down low, and you're not feeling it, and to the point where not only just the way they physically look, mentally they look better, and the way that they're conducting their careers, the way they are with their families, is that they have more confidence. That's how we're going to do it. We are going to win a day about being better, about being more confident in ourselves. Positive vibes, my number 2. That's only I want to go a lot on this positive vibes. I can tell you this because we're being bombarded every day. COVID-19 deaths, this and this. How many more days are we going to do this? The economy is going this way. It's just like it's all this bringing us literally down, and it's like, stop it. But guess what? We have control. What's coming in, we can just push it out. Push all that negative stuff out and bring that positive stuff in. And so that's surrounding yourself with people. I can tell you what, Zoom stock must be going up, exponentially. Because of the Zoom meetings, Zoom happy hours, whatever it is, calling up a friend, bringing those positive vibes in on a daily basis and eliminating some of those social media things that are bringing you down. You have control of that. What would you say on that?
I couldn't agree more that 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 if all you do is, and you have to kind of manage what you're putting in too. So you can't read it. You can't, get stuck with your phone in front of your face and just keep scrolling, because it doesn't ever end. And so take what you need for the day, take what you need to learn, and then put it down and reset yourself so that it is a positive place that you're coming from. And it, and you have to, I don't know what the answer is to this, but the struggle is I know all the things I don't know. I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't know, X, Y, and Z. But I do know A, B, C, the fact that I don't know when this is going to end, the fact that I can't control that means I just need to focus on something else. I need to redirect my energy to something else. Because the more I worry about that, the more I worry about things I can't control and I don't know, it gets me nowhere.
It does. It gets you nowhere pretty fast.
Beautiful picture.
So you talked about energy. I highly recommend. Here's my recommendation book, and I'm not like the best reader. I love reading books that bring me up and bring me joy and positive. So a friend of mine recommended the Energy Bus for me, and I probably have listened to it on Audible at least 6 times. It is a great book. My wife Barb has read it, and I tell you what, this has a different perspective on those particular things that what we call vampires, energy vampires. They just suck you out, and I'm going to tell you, in this time of life, get rid of those. So bringing in all that positive in and finding those positive people, seek those positive people, especially in times right now. Just those are things you need to make sure that you have. So I highly suggest the Energy Bus. So if you
I've read it as well. I know you've read it more times than you. I think you know all the characters' names. But I will say that as you're reading it, you'll recognize the other people on the bus and the bus driver. You'll think, oh,
Joy!
I know that person. Joy. Yeah, her name is Joy. I know that person, and I know that. I mean, that other people on the bus. You're like, I recognize that person, and then you start recognizing that who you are on the bus.
Yes,
it is an interesting revelation. Real quick read. I mean, it's not very big, not very long by any means, but really engaging. I think because you can't help but put yourself in the story.
Oh, and that's what it's meant for. Absolutely. Where's your seat on that bus? And so I recommend that book, The Energy Bus. If you ever get a chance to do that, go back to that Energy Bus. So number 3 on that is, your strengths over weaknesses. What are your strengths? Start expanding on those strengths. We know we got a weakness. All of us do, but let's not frown on those weaknesses, especially right now. Again, those are things that are just going to bring you down. They're all negative when you come to those weaknesses, but yet also embrace it, saying these are some of the things I can work on that have been a weakness, so I can put that to be a strength there too. There's a lot of things that we could be doing now that maybe we didn't have time or maybe the resources that to be able to do it, but think about those strengths that you do have and really don't think about those weaknesses. What would you say on that then, Stephanie?
Yeah, I think that's a challenge. I think it's hard for people to do that. I think that it also sometimes, strengths are things that you feel that you enjoy doing, and that I say come somewhat naturally. Like it's not a struggle to do. It feels good when you're doing it, which is very different than a big long to-do list, right?
Yeah.
Like a big project. Like I want to learn how to, quilt or something that is. Sure. So I just think that is sometimes I struggle with what are my strengths versus what are I would like to learn how to be a pianist, learn to play the piano, not necessarily something that would be enjoyable for me to learn, right? And who knows if it's a strength or not. And music is not a strength of mine. So,
neither mine.
Not to get those two confused, because it's your strengths should feel good, and you should be enjoying them, and they should be lifting you up and keeping you going. So.
Yes, most definitely it should be. And this, again, let's talk about our strengths and not our weaknesses at this point in time where we're going through. If you're looking at the legacy versus currency, what do you think of that? What would you think number 4 would be if I said legacy versus currency?
Oh, I guess maybe the end result versus more of the churning and burning in the middle of it. I'm not sure.
Legacy is what you're doing now. We tend to always just, especially right now, I'm going to say, we can build the legacy with our kids, especially when we have young kids that are in the house. They're seeing us now during a pretty, I would say, stressful time.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? That legacy is being built of how does mom and dad, how does dad handle, how does mom handle this particular time. So when we talk about legacy, it's really building a foundation for you, your family, not just for just right now, but for going forward. The currency, yeah, when we look at that, some people look at, hey, I'm building my life based on how much money I make or how many buildings I own, how many houses I got, how many vacations I go on. But really, when it gets down to it, it doesn't matter all those things. It's matters of the relationships that you build, that legacy you build with the friends and family, and your that's what we really we're talking about now, of really mentally winning the day.
Mm-hmm. Prioritizing. Oh, yeah. What's important, yeah, and your family and is much more important than all the other extraneous activities. And I get that.
It really is. And then last one is hustle. It's not just, running physically hustle. It's doing things with a purpose. Those are some of the toughest things to do. My son and I got a picture of him, and we call it attitude, effort, and hustle. 3 things that you can control. It doesn't matter what is going on in the world. You got to have a good attitude. You got to always put forth great effort, and you got to hustle. And so when we talk about hustle, it's just, maybe it be hustling to get a particular project done. You talked about cleaning your oven. That's a hustle. You had to think about, hey, I got to hustle to get this done.
with everybody in the house and we're cooking, we're not even out, like it's getting dirty. Like this is not sanitary anymore.
You looked at it and goes, damn, that thing is dirty. It is.
Turns out an oven gets dirty when you use it. Who knew?
Oh, so like for me, like hustling, I got to tell you, during this whole COVID-19, I try to use my time to do some remodeling, and I can't tell you I'm a handyman, but I can tell you what, I'm doing it with confidence.
You're hustling.
I am hustling because I want to learn. It's part of my learning process. And the other day I had a really cool win for me for doing some electrical work. I figured out this electrical pattern and did it right, and it works. I hope it's open code, but but it was just fun just to be able to figure that, and it's just part of my hustle. I want to challenge myself and to do things differently than what I ever had before.
Yeah. So, and we've got the opportunity now.
Oh, we do.
We do. If you see now as an opportunity to do that kind of thing, it's again the perspective that you're looking at, the perspective that you have, that makes that possible.
It definitely does.
What do you say? I've had multiple conversations, and you can see it posted all over social media too, that because now the decisions have been made for us and we're at home, this was unpredicted, or we didn't know it was coming, right? And we weren't, have not done this before. We aren't sure how we're supposed to be doing it. Or I've not ever tried to stock up my fridge for 2 weeks, and for 4 adults and so forth, or working from home and, all the things that we've been doing, trying to turn the gym virtually. And, but I'm at home. And so I should be also cleaning out a closet and reorganizing this and doing keeping up with laundry all day. Cause normally we do a marathon laundry day on Sunday, but I should be doing laundry every day. And I probably should be, scrapbooking and again, all those things that someone was sending out Christmas cards already, like preparing Christmas cards because they got the time. And I just think that's a lot of pressure. And my kids are young adults, right? So then magnify that by having kids in school, that now I'm working and I'm supposed to be cleaning and cooking for everybody because we're not eating out, and helping with schoolwork. And like the list just keeps getting longer because the unspoken expectations seem to be there. Like, how do you break through and shut that off? Or what do you recommend?
There's a lot going on. I mean, I've got friends of mine that I work with. She's a single mom, 3 kids that are under 15, and now they're all at home in St. Louis. How do you prioritize the work that you got to do? And also I got kids at home that I got to make sure that they're in a Zoom meeting, and all that. I got to make sure the internet's got, there's so much. I honestly can't tell you specifically, yes, this is what you should be doing. But yes, you need to take a deep breath and say, okay, what can I do? What can I control? Okay, here's what I control. So maybe it's delegation. Say, like for laundry, it says, hey, can you help me out on this day? Maybe it's like for food or for the meal. Can you get a menu for me? It's your menu today, your menu this week, whatever it may be, and maybe it's you go out and get it, or I'll go out and get it from there. If it's a particular subject in school, it says, hey, like I could tell you, like my son Marcus and my wife Barb, Marcus is at home now. He's working on, getting his stuff online, and that's been kind of a challenge. So, but Barb has been there to help out with, hey, read this paper to make sure this is good, that type of thing. So it is a whole different ball game, but don't forget to take a moment and time for yourself. If you want to scrapbook, hey, this is what time you're going to be scrapbooking. Or if you want to, set up plans for the business, this is your time frame. And don't worry about if that doesn't get done. That's if it gets done, oh my God, great.
There's your win.
Does it, don't worry about it. You're on. It's like you kind of had a lottery of time. You didn't really like do anything to get it. You didn't get COVID-19. You didn't do anything to get this time. But use it wisely. But don't understand that you don't have to use it all.
Yeah, it's not a Superman, Superwoman, super person time. It's so. I just think that the expectations we put on ourselves because we're home, we should be able to do it all now. This was not a decision and a change that we prepared for, planned for, had any intention of doing. And so like the laundry doesn't have to get done every day.
No, there's plenty of clothes. You know what? Guess what? You probably got enough clothes in there for at least like about 2 to 3 months or more that you could not even wash, and you're not even going out.
We didn't have, I don't have a load of laundry to do every day because we wear the same clothes 2 days in a row, or like too many days in a row. So.
My goodness. I can't believe that.
So maybe instead of worrying about doing the laundry, we should change clothes every day.
Yeah.
Get up and shower and do your hair. There's your win for the day. It's not pajama day all day long. And so it's just interesting that there are as many perspectives and situations as there are people. We are all feeling very similar in that it's such a challenge, and so we feel very helpless and out of control, and that everyone's situation is different. And so finding these 5 things: what can I do mentally? What can I do physically to feel good at the end of the day? And it's 5 things. It's not a long laundry list, and it's, for goodness sake, it's not everything. it's just everything. 5 things, right?
Yeah.
I think that's
focus on those 5.
Yeah, 5. Two hands. 5. 5 physical, 5 mental.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, so we are just shy of 30 minutes, but I'd love to see if there were any questions from those of you that are watching. I saw Jeanette joined us. We'd love to hear. Oh, and there's Pam. Very timely and helpful. Maybe Pam can share what she did today that she feels like she's winning. Or Jeanette. I know you ladies are juggling a lot. And the stress reliever of working out. So for me, a walk is fresh air and getting out of these 4 walls. But then the sweat of a good workout. Also, Andy and I were just talking about the difference between he and I. I'm just waiting to see. I think there's a little bit of a delay between comments. But that we work out together in the afternoon, late, I call it evening. He calls it late afternoon. But at 6 o'clock is not the time where I think I want to go work out. But he's talking about, like his day is built and built and built, and he just needs the pressure release, or the day release. And so it's just different, but we both feel much better after we worked out. Oh, Jeanette.
Yes. Hi, Jeanette.
Mm-hmm. It is getting better. I'm glad to hear it's getting better for her new normal, new routine. She's focusing on her strengths, and she, my friends, has a lot of strength. So Jeanette, you can dig deep, and a deep breath for sure. And Pam, she's got a winning day. She got a workout in before a marathon day of meetings.
Yeah, some of us are still working. I know. I'm still working.
5:30, so that I think is almost closing in on Pam. Day's closing down. Didn't spiral, and she justified why I didn't have time. Good. Yeah. Priorities, got it done. The rest of the day goes, but you've already won. You were winning probably at 5 a.m. this morning.
I love Pam. She finished her workout, and that's about the time I'm waking up.
Yeah.
I'm like, isn't that horrible?
Not at all.
Oh,
it's the sleep schedule's changed. Staying up later, getting up later. But it's also something I'm grateful for, because Andy's not been traveling, and the kids are here, so our evenings are just full of conversation, which is, I don't think many people get this kind of interaction with their kids at this age.
Yes.
The last time we were all here, we didn't necessarily, they were teenagers.
Yeah, and for this long, it's just like, they're different conversations, and I can tell you this. I mean, I open it up to anybody and everyone who's listening or who's got access to this. Call me if you just want to just burst out, if you want to laugh, want to cry. I don't give a. That's what you need to. Sometimes you just need to I had my moment this morning with my boss. I'm like, I'm tired of being in front of the damn computer all day long. I'm out visiting dealers and my customers and interacting. When you and I miss. We haven't met on Tuesdays for long. I miss those.
2 months probably. Yeah.
It has. So please just reach out. To somebody, myself, Stephanie. Gosh, it is different. This is different. So again, we got to win our day, and it soon will pass. It will. And
we will be good. We will be stronger. We will be there.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So anyone else who's out there? Good. Jeanette saying be more positive. She's wanting to be more positive, which is all of us. Like this, we are positive people. When especially in our Farrell's community, we work out, we are surrounded by people who want to be better and take care of themselves and be healthy. And when we surround ourselves with people that are like that, we feel that way. It is contagious. And so to not be surrounded by cheerleaders and like-minded people, and have easy access, you can run astray, fall off. So please, be positive. And Richie's right. He and I both are available, and he's a great cheerleader. I'm a great cheerleader. We're good listeners. We'll be happy to help.
Most definitely.
I'm glad to get a chance to talk to you. Oh, Marcy's coming in too.
All right.
Winning by doing the workouts every day. For sure. I don't think she's missed one yet. I think she has been consistent.
You the gal.
She was worried about being home and being driven back to old habits, bad habits. But the threads of text, Facebook, or Farrell's, the FXB ladies, keeps me going every day. Yeah. So the community at Farrell's is a good place to find your center and find a strength. Be reminded of what your strengths are. Be reminded to take care of yourself. Oh, I opened up the windows yesterday and I've got flies in the house.
Yay!
Yes. Yeah. So Jeanette says winning is connecting with people instead of texting and picking up the phone to call. Yeah. I forced myself to get used to video calls, like FaceTiming, and and I use a lot of video messenger and this. I try not to use texting at all because I just want to see people, see their faces, see their smiles. And it's important enough for me to see them that I'll force them to look at this, you know. The awkwardness.
For those older or the people like myself, the Jetsons comes in mind now with this.
Oh yeah.
You know, whether is it Judy Jetson, Jane Jetson, you know, when she had her video face on,
yeah.
you know, it was
yeah, I can't remember what it was.
Jane is why
Jetson.
I had to sing it. Meet George Jetson.
I wish I could press a few buttons and dinner would come out. And whatever their housekeeper's name was, I need her to come too. All right. Well, ladies, yeah. I'm so glad you popped on, and I'm glad you shared. Thank you. I'll tell if anyone's out there when you watch this and you aren't and you'd like to become part of the Farrell's community and get involved with these ladies, because they are people that lift me up every day, and they're people that weren't able to make it today, that they interact with. And they rely on each other. And so if you're looking for something like that and you're in Ankeny, we would love to welcome you with open arms. So, but I couldn't be more proud of our current members and our current community. I'm so thankful, so thankful. Farrell's people are my 1, 2, 3 reasons to be grateful on a daily basis. So, all right, folks, I think with that, Richie, any last comments?
You nailed it. You're thankful and blessed, and these are the things that we need to focus on rather than all the other crud that's going on out there. But I really enjoyed this, Steffi. Thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of this, and this is great. I really
good. I'm glad
doing this.
Glad you were able to join us, and thank you for sharing.
Anytime.
All right, you guys have a great rest of your evening. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.